hard when your toes get to talking and your legs get to walking and your luck run out like oh no.
What's up, YouTube? So today's second topic that I wanted to address is that the Nintendo Switch console is indeed casual, and I think people need to just get over it personally. Okay, so let's go over some facts that we know about Nintendo, especially for the past few years. Well, we know that the closest thing to being a hardcore console for hardcore gamers from Nintendo was the GameCube. After the Wii, they had a complete change in their philosophy of how they wanted to handle gaming, and gaming really hasn't been quite the same for their brand since then. We know that the Wii had a lot of gimmicky games that soccer moms and stuff like that relied on the nunchuck. We also know that though the Wii U didn't necessarily force you to use the nunchuck, they did force you to use the gamepad for a lot of games. And we know now that the Nintendo Switch, even though they said they're trying to go away from that with the brand, we know that they're making a hybrid of the console, which to me personally isn't really a bad thing, but when you do that, it is going to make some issues that people may not feel comfortable with. Like the best example I can think of in this case, trying to give you guys an example, is we know that Pokemon is an RPG where you take turns doing attacks. So if you made a main game even for console for say Pokemon, it wouldn't be too much more away from that. So to a lot of gamers that's not familiar with that format, it's going to feel casual because you could go downstairs, make you a sandwich, make you a drink, and nothing's going to happen in that game until you pick a move. So it really takes away a lot of the tension of, say, a lot of these multiplayer games like COD, or even playing a game like, say, Street Fighter 5 or Tekken 7 online, where it's like, hey, I got to focus on this match, I'm fighting somebody, and if I want to do something else in between, they'll take me out because you're controlling everything and everything's going at your own pace. So it's more like relaxed and chill, and a lot of the games that's coming from the 3DS, for those of you that don't own 3DS, are going to be like that. They're little small quick games where you move at your own pace and your own convenience because it's made to be on the go. I feel like we're going to get a lot of those experiences coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, I mean, Zelda Breath of the Wild, we already know isn't going to be like that, but we really haven't heard too many more games that's coming out for this thing. And the other thing that we have to remember is there's probably going to be a lot of ports. As much as people don't want that, there are indeed going to be a lot of ports onto there. So it's like, if you're having ports which essentially came from the Wii U, can you really say they're providing a lot of games that's going to be for the hardcore gamer per se? We also know that in the trailer we saw Skyrim and NBA 2K17, which was awesome. But we also know a couple of days later, both companies confirmed that though they worked with Nintendo on that trailer, they may not release those games. So they're saying that they may still give Nintendo a game or two for the Switch, but it may not necessarily be Skyrim or NBA 2K17, which, if you guys was watching Real Gamers podcast last Thursday, not this Thursday that recently came by, 100 was actually talking about that too. He was saying NBA 2K has a lot of buttons and a lot of advanced moves you have to make to really be able to play basketball. And with the buttons and the Joy-Cons and stuff that's on the Switch, he doesn't see it practical or possible to play NBA 2K17 mobile. And I would have to say, as a 2K player, I completely agree. Like, that would more or less be one of the games where if it did come to the console, you would definitely have to play it at home with the Nintendo Pro Pad, which you would have to buy that controller yourself. It's not going to come with it. But chances are you wouldn't be able to really use the Joy Cons and have a decent experience. It would probably feel like Smash 3DS on Nintendo 3DS and how difficult it was to play that, but we were all excited about it being on the go and giving it a try. So my whole thing is Nintendo, just to and summarize everything up for today. Nintendo has been like this for years. To expect them to change and to really give everybody everything they want is like insanity, because they're not sad or upset with any of the decisions they've been making over the past couple of years, and they're still making the money they want. So from their perspective, as long as they're getting the money they want, there's no reason for them to make complete changes. So if you're big on the like 3DS, mobile gaming, stuff like that, like I am, you'll definitely like the Nintendo Switch. But if you're one of those gamers that's really just about online multiplayer all the time and not really playing a lot of quick, simple games that are going to be really intuitive or really fast paced, then you're probably not going to like the Switch, because I don't see a lot of those games coming out in the near future for the Nintendo Switch. Expect like just really relaxing games that you might want to play with your family or your little cousins, maybe if they're like from the ages of 7 to 12, or don't play video games at all and just kind of want to pick it up because they're over at the house. But don't expect anything too hardcore. And don't let it bother you because we knew Nintendo was going to go in this direction. This isn't a surprise. It's just history repeating itself. Their history repeating itself. Anyhow, if you have a different opinion, let me know in the comment section down below. And I've been Retro Bro, and I am signing out.